Welcome back to OnSign TV Academy. In this video, we'll introduce you to our new Compact Players view, which offers more flexibility and customization than ever, as it lets you organize players based on criteria of your choosing. We'll also go over a few tips on using the search bar, search filters, and generating a player report, among other things you'll find under the Players tab. Let's start. As you click on the Players tab, you'll find a few exciting changes. Firstly, take a look at these two tabs here. Here, you may access the dashboard, which provides you with a ton of information. It's a great general overview of all your players and their connectivity, versions, errors, and you can even see their locations, among other things. Here you'll also find the Players tab, which we'll focus on. You may now choose between two modes of how this entire tab is displayed. The first is the Comfort mode, which is great if you're overseeing a smaller number of players. As you can see, it's fairly straightforward, giving you a simple view of your players. The second is our new Compact mode. As you can see, it's ideal for managing a larger number of players. It's extremely flexible and can be adapted based on your needs. Keep in mind that you can of course switch between these two modes whenever you wish. Now let's get into more detail about the Compact view mode. To make it even roomier, don't forget to retract the sidebar. First, a quick tour of the layout. Much of it is very straightforward. To set up new players, use this button here. To download all information available about your players, such as names, versions, operating system, and so on, in the form of a spreadsheet, click the Player Report button. On the bottom, you'll be able to see the number of licenses your organization is using. For me, this number is 41, and another important number, I can see the number of licenses that are currently not in use, which is 20. Lastly, you may tick these checkboxes next to several players to perform actions on them all at once, such as restarting or removing them. With the basics covered, let's go over the most important parts, which are the data columns and the search bar. First, the columns. Depending on what information is important to you specifically, you may access all available columns by clicking this button. Here, simply tick and untick columns you think are important. For me, connectivity and sync are the most important, but if that's not the case for you, drag the column labels around based on your own priority. For example, let's drag errors to the top of the list. You can see that the columns here have shifted as I move these labels around. You may also drag columns around by directly grabbing them here. Also remember to adjust the width to make sure that things are easier to view. A very useful feature of these columns is sorting player information based on multiple columns. For example, by clicking here, we can see that the players got sorted into two main groups of online and offline. Now I also want players within these two segments to be sorted based on their last seen date. When I click the last seen label, you can see that these two columns now have numbers, which indicate sorting priority. I want the connectivity sorting to take place first, so I'll set that to 1, which sets last seen to 2. Now we can see that apart from being sorted into online and offline, the players within these two segments were also sorted by date. You may have noticed that some players here are highlighted in yellow. This means that there is something up with that particular player. It could be detached or under maintenance, for example. For every player, you can click this arrow to inspect the player and see a ton of information about it immediately without having to go off screen. Here we can see, for example, that this particular player is detached. If you want to go off screen and into the player settings directly, simply click the player name. Now let's talk about the search bar and filters. For a simple search, you can just type in the word that you're looking for in the player's name. For example, let's say the word interactive. To make the search even more sophisticated, click the Add Filter button. You can already see a ton of possibilities here. It all depends on what you're looking for specifically. So let's say I want to find only players based on their operating system. So I'll select Starts With and enter here Android. I can even be more specific and enter the version, such as Android 8. We can narrow down this search by hitting the filter button again. Now I only want to show players that have an error count that is greater or equal to 1. This narrows the search down further. Keep in mind that I can also click here to change "and" to "or." Now the search is showing players that meet either of these two criteria. Filters can be really useful if you're looking for something very specific. Maybe you want to call up two specific versions of Android to compare them, for example. Lastly, you can click X to clear the search bar. And that sums up everything you need to know about our new Players layout. That's it for this Academy video, and I will see you in the next one.